mates, how are you? Welcome to day 139 of Lyndall's Luscious Limberings. Today is our calm, stretchy, chill out, mobilizing flexibility day. Particularly after yesterday, I am finding that I'm feeling my thighs and the small of my back a little bit. That's fine. All part of the course, let you know you're alive, but we will invest some love into those areas today. So keep yourself warm, comfy, and let's just do it. Let's just get ready to relax. Yes. All right. If you're playing along with the playlist for day 139, 3, 2, 1, go. And let's lie down on our backs. Yes. All right, and we've done this before. Just lightly tilt the pelvis forward and back on the floor. So it's rocking like this way, but really don't make it big. It's just about mobilizing, particularly over the small of the back. And this is interesting because you really can't see very much from where you are, but my pelvis is rocking. Beautiful. Now we're going to rock it from side to side, so from hip to hip. Again, super small, like only a couple of centimeters. Beautiful. And now, like a spinning plate, again, keep it small. And really think about the small of the back, the sacrum, just relaxing, not just into the floor, below the floor. Imagine it's releasing right down. Really soft quality of movement here. We're not actually trying to engage or pull anything in. We're trying to release and circle the other way. Breathe, particularly soften over the sternum and the solar plexus here. Make sure the chin's tucked so the neck is extended. Beautiful. Bringing knees to chest and light circling. Again, don't crank them up towards your chest. Just well within your range of movement. And again, the sacrum, the small of the back, is relaxing deep into the floor. And change direction, use the breath. So breathe in, then outward breath. And imagine that that's what's sending the leg around, rather than you having to put in any particular effort. Good, pull the toes towards the shin and just gently lift up and down. Again, pull the toes, extend the heels. And you'll start to get that feeling of that nerve stretch down the backs of the calves. You may even feel it then going into the thighs and the small of the back. Soften through the sternum. And gently burst an imaginary balloon between the small of the back and the floor as you're doing the movements. Beautiful here, and lightly going between pigeon toes and duck feet. All of the birds. Really light. And send your awareness into the small of the back while you're doing this. And see if you can release it, feel like it's broadening out. And then just indulge a bit in this stretch here with the toes in. And indulge with it out. And again, just back and forth. Good, knees down, and again, gentle circle. And the other way. Good. Both feet down, hands to the side. Breathe in. Breathing out, let the leg fall over to one side. Send the head across the other way if you're feeling comfy. Let gravity do the work here. Breathe into the opposite ribs. Good, deep breath in, and use the outward breath to change sides. And again, let gravity do the work for you. Nice work. Now in your own time, breathe in. Use the outward breath to change yourself from side to side. So continue the breath all the way down, then release like a spring. The body draws the breath in, and then use the breath to bring the legs over to the other side. Beautiful. Coming in, bring the knees up to the chest, and if you want, you can leave the hands here or put them behind your butt. Let the small to back burst an imaginary balloon to the floor as you send the legs just out, and then back in again. Really think about that small to back relaxing down into the ground. Now on this one, we're going to lower the feet all the way to the floor. And then back in. You can put the hands into here if you like, just to support the body. Because we don't really want too much pressure going through the small of the back here. Or the hips. Really keep on focusing on bursting that imaginary balloon. Good, point the toes and do it with straight legs now. If straight legs feels too intense, then just go back to doing it with the knees bent. Always use the breath. And if you have straight legs here, I like to just, as I start to go, just start to encourage a bit more range of motion at the end. Good, and back to bending the knees and circle. And hopefully the body might naturally want to do a greater range of movement here. But don't force it. And circle the other way. Good. Placing the feet down and just let the legs fall out to the side in a frog stretch. Again, correct the small of the back first so it's relaxing deep into the floor, and as soon as you feel it start to arch up away from the floor, that's your maximum limit. So we want to keep the back relaxed into the floor. Don't force it. It's a weird thing to think about relaxing rather than forcing. But if you really imagine it sinking right down deep, a couple of meters at least below the floor. And now just try to relax under the shoulder blades, over the jaw, the front of the throat, and over the solar plexus, the diaphragm. And if you feel like you can, give a little wiggle here, just helping out with the hands. Nothing too extreme, just agitating it slightly. Think about relaxing over the pectoral muscles as well. Beautiful. Use the hands and the breath, so breathe in, breathe out, help yourself back up, knees back up, and circle. Should be starting to hopefully open up a bit. And the other way. Now, if you're feeling like you can, just actually now link the arms and just let the weight of the elbows drop into the floor. Encourage a bit more of a stretch now. Keep on feeling like the sacrum is extending away from you. It's soften through the point of the diaphragm, the solar plexus. Beautiful, breath big down on the floor. Donut over and let's open out through those hips. And use the hands near the hip just to help passively stretch out. Yeah. Oh, it's Rupert's birthday today. Just so you know, he's 16. He doesn't care, but he is. Good, and then just wiggle out again. And now be gentle with this. Loop the hands through, and then just gradually let that stretch come in, because you're likely to be quite sore in there. So don't crank it. Remember, if it's too intense to link the hands around the shins, you can link them around the thighs, and that works just as well. Breathe deep. And gentle, gentle, gentle Labrador wags. And then again, settle in. If you're feeling like you've got a bit more leeway, just let the elbows start to drop towards the floor and allow that to start to open up the stretch a little bit more. Good, place that foot down and take yourself towards the side of the leg that's up, and just gently on the outward breath, let the leg fall to the side, and if you're feeling comfortable, look down the opposite arm. Let gravity do the work for you. I don't know if you can hear it, but Rupert is actually snoring. It's very endearing. Good, release the lower leg. Use the outward breath to come back up. And the other leg. So let's just open that up first. And using the hands nice near the hip, just give that a passive stretch there. And back to opening again. Linking the hands through, again be gentle with this. So just ease into the stretch. And always try and deepen into the stretch, not by forcing it, but by feeling like you're releasing, so breathing into the area. Coax the body down, don't force it. And gentle Labrador wags. And just settle back into the stretch. If you feel like you can now, just engage with that stretch a tiny bit more. Just let the elbows be heavy. And then let go of the arms. Take yourself over to the side of the leg that's raised. On the outward breath, gently fall down to the side and looking down the arm. Good, straighten the leg on the bottom, arm curl. Good, go back to the original leg, bend the leg, take it across to the center line, and then take hold of the shin or the ankle and gently bring it forwards. Good. Now it's not a stretching session unless we do our nerve stretch. So pull the toes to the shin, extend the heel up. Good. Take the heel out of the stretch and just go back to wiggling the whole leg in the hip joint, like we do when we're doing the pigeon toes and duck feet, but just with one leg. If you want, you can use your hand to help convince yourself it's the whole hip joint moving, the whole leg, not the ankle moving. Good. Now leg behind, point the toe, and just gently encourage the knee towards the opposite wall, stretching this other leg out towards the floor, lengthening through the back of the neck. Beautiful. Bend that. And just pull the knee in towards the chest, and while we're here, we're just going to circle through the ankle. And as you do this, really release through the small of the back. You can almost imagine it's the small of the back that's actually motivating the movement in the ankle. Change direction. Keep on reminding yourself just to reset that neck so you're not scrunching the chin up, you're tucking the chin, lengthening out through the neck. And finally, let the elbows be heavy and send the opposite hip away and down. Beautiful. Shake that out a bit. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Good. Other leg. Bring the knee up. Take it across to the center line. And pulling forwards on the ankle or the shin. Go back and soften other areas like your jaw, temporomandibular joint, over the front of the throat and the thoracic inlet, down through the diaphragm. Good, and then pull the toes back, stretch up. Yes. Breathe into that. Relax onto the shoulder blades, relax other parts of the body. Good, and then just wiggle side to side. And pointing the toe, just encourage the stretch forwards, relaxing the other hip out and away. Good. Bend the leg and pull in and circle the ankle. Again, really release the small of the back into the ground. Relax the opposite hip and feel like you're powering this through from the small of the back. If it doesn't make sense when I say that, just try it. Sometimes it's just the mental thought of, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and then it will work. Go the other way. Good, and then bring the other knee in. Enjoy that stretch. Beautiful. Pop one leg down and bend the other one. Just let it go across the body. Keeping both shoulders on the ground. Breathing out, come back, change over. Both shoulders on the ground, just let gravity do the work and the weight of the arm on the knee, don't force it down. Good, breathing in, breathe out, come back, and then just roll yourself onto your side. And we're going to do the openings up with the elbows bent. So from here, draw the elbow across the body, breathing in, breathe out. Just go in your own rhythm. Last one. Beautiful. And just squint yourself over the other side. And again, use the inward breath as you drag across the body, opening out. The elbow doesn't have to touch the ground if that's not where your flexibility is today. That's okay. Just go as far as is comfortable. Beautiful. Rolling yourself onto all fours nice and gently. And just flatten off the spine and give a really gentle Labrador wag. And then check out your butt on the left hand side. So you bend right around on the other side. Just keep on going from side to side. If you're starting to warm up as you bend around, rather than just bending around from the upper body, also send the other hip out to the side. So you start to feel a bit of a stretch along the side of the butt and through the hips. Beautiful. Back into the center and rolling through some cat-cow. So up into the cat stretch. Bones towards the ceiling and down the other way. If you don't feel like extending into the cow, just level off into a flat spine. Beautiful. Now send the bones towards the ceiling. Lighten off the muscles here and now just wiggle the butt nice and loose off the base of the spine, but keep the feeling of that spine trying to arch towards the ceiling. Let the head be heavy so the top of the head wants to reach now to touch the floor. Good. Keep the arch and just bend back until you find a stretch between the shoulder blades. And then if you're feeling stable, you can give a small wiggle through the butt here too. Good. Back in and shake off the spine. Just look around the entire room. Try and find a place, a way to look at every single part of the room, every part of your own body. Get creative. Beautiful. And then rock yourself down into a child's pose. Just squeak the fingertips out and gently pull back against them. Letting the shoulder blades feel like they're sliding down to the sides. Good, coming up. And if you want to, then for the next one, just take the legs a little wider and rock back again. So the feet are still pointing at each other, but the knees are wide. Otherwise, just do a standard one. Good, coming up. And then we can take that stretch a little further. You can either go back into that one, or you can sit in a butterfly. Otherwise, we're going to do our crazy frog stretch. So legs wide, don't go extreme. Shins in parallel. Take yourself onto your forearms and just gently. Now don't go to your extreme yet. I want you to go above the extreme and just gently rock forwards and back. So you're not even really reaching where you find a stretch, maybe just a small bit at the end of the movement. but nothing aggressive. And you should naturally find the body wants to open up a little more. Now just gently take yourself back, so you're pushing slightly back, letting your hips release slightly down. Don't put yourself in a state of trauma here. Just find the comfortable stretch and then breathe into it. Soften the jaw. Beautiful. Now just keep yourself forward in the forearms, leave the legs where they are, and wait till your belly touches the ground, then close the legs in together. And using your forearms, push yourself back into another child's pose. Good. Coming up and sitting on your butt. Put the left leg underneath, the right leg on top. You can straighten the left leg if you want. Left arm on top, sit up and look around. Beautiful. And changing around, you can do the fancy way or the non-fancy way. Nice. And just take yourself into a big diamond, scooching belly button upwards and forwards, and really wiggle so that you can work the small of the back and also the butt cheeks. Consciously feeling like you can broaden across the small of the back here. Beautiful. Then bring the heels in towards the pelvic bone and give us some light butterfly flutters, sitting up tall through the spine. Remember, when we sit up tall, don't hoik up through the chest, it's a lengthening through the top and the back of the head. And then if you're feeling good about it, just gently lean forwards. Lovely. Just take the legs out into a comfortable side straddle, not too big. Feet up and just turn and start to take yourself towards that foot. Chest upwards and forwards, don't bend over. Now if you can reach the ball of the foot and you want to give some traction, then by all means just help out that stretch. And then use the breath in the hand to bring it back up again. Over to the other leg. And traction if you feel like it. Beautiful. Put the hand behind and just reach over to touch the wall. So the hand's not in front like we do at other times at the moment. It's just behind and supporting. Stretch over. Stretch out those ribs. Good. Using outward breath. This hand and this hand to come up. Try and touch the wall. Stretch out through those ribs. Beautiful. Coming up. And just gently take the chest in some circles. And if you're feeling it, you can just start to bring in the arms, stretching wide. Again, work well within your range of motion here. want any popped backs or anything like that? Good, and now pop the hand on the inside and stretch over and use the elbow here to help open up the ribs. And change sides. Good, coming up. Use your hands to help bring the legs in. And round into a squat, just hanging over here, let the head drop. And then give a little kind of twisty wriggle. Pull the belly button into the spine so you can help to stretch along the small of the back. Good, now hands down, raise the butt and up until you find a stretch. And then just go slight bend and up again, just milking through that stretch, let the head stay heavy. The legs don't need to be completely straight at the end, you just want to work until you find a stretch. Good, take the legs wide and keep going but with bent legs, with wide legs. And keep going, but just take the fingertips out a little longer if they're on the ground. So you can also enjoy a stretch on along the shoulder blades in the back. Yay for multitasking. Good, and swinging from side to side. Good, put the hands in the middle, just raise the head up so we can drain the blood out, and we're just going to do a little cheeky side to side movement. If you're starting to feel it, you can gradually get yourself lower and lower, but don't do anything too extreme. Good, and knee down, back, and into our forward stretch. Good, and then we're just going to hold in the flexor stretch. Make sure your front leg is far enough forward that your shin's in perpendicular to the ground. In perpendicular is perpendicular. Good, reach the hand up, it's nearest the front foot. Place it down. And we're just going to turn back in, go the other way. And just take ourselves through a few forward and backs. Adjust the front foot so that you don't let the knee go past the toe as you're coming forwards. Nice, and then relax into flexor stretch at the front. Let the back heel reach towards the ground, chest upwards and forwards, and then take the hand nearest the foot, take it towards the ceiling. And back down. And take yourself back into the center. Pop out one hip then the other in an A-frame. And back to swinging it up again. Beautiful. Bend the butt, bend the knees, and rolling up through the spine, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. Let's roll out through the shoulders. And we're just going to do a couple of spinal rolls. So here, and relaxing down. Let the head deflate the body, deflate the breath. Then either by breathing in or breathing out to inflate the spine, roll back up again. A couple more of those just in your own time. through the shoulders and elbows, and hand open, and then nice and gently just rotations through the central axis of the body. Arms super floppy, knees should be slightly bent. And then keep both the hips and the shoulder and the head facing forwards as the shoulders rotate around the body. And if you like, you can just start to give a hit on the small of the back and over the kidneys. And then take that away, just rotating through the shoulders again. And last thing, let's just stretch through those quads. So roll the pelvis forward, make sure the knees are aligned, stretching up through the head. And think about lengthening through this hip. If this is too intense, you can lie back on your belly and pull the leg towards your butt. Good, check that. And the other leg. Good stretch. I know I said this is the last one. I lied. One more, just one more. Indulge me, because let's just stretch throughout. Our triceps as well. Knees nice and soft. Good, and the other side. Yes. Beautiful. Oh, one more. Let's do one more. Let's do this one. I mean, yeah, I could just stop recording and keep on stretching myself, but let's just do one more. I'm still working on the principle that if I'm sore in a certain area, you probably will be too. But by all means, continue stretching. All right, now we're done. Seriously done. Alrighty. Thank you once again for joining me. Core day tomorrow, last day of another week. What the hell? Well done. Come this far. Keep going. Let's do it. In the meantime, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Thank you so much for your participation and company.